I'll be having very interesting guests who have personal stories to tell to the world. Welcome to MNB World Talk Show. Hello there, welcome to MNB World Talk Show's new episode. Today I have very interesting and very different person in our studio. He's a Mongolist, he's a long singer, he's a horsehead fiddler player, and well, he is almost better Mongolian than me. Well, this person is Mr. Steve Morel, who's a Mongolist. Well, thank you for coming here in our studio. And сайхан хаварч байна уу?
Сайхан хаварч байна уу?
Сайхан.
Он минь тархан тавтай орвоо.
Тархан тавтай орлоо. Well, your Mongolian is very good.
Thank you.
It has improved a lot over the years.
I do my best.
How and why were you attracted to the art of filming?
Actually, my brother influenced me to play video game a lot.
Okay.
So I was kind of like a hardcore gamer before. So
Okay.
I used to play like StarCraft, World of Warcraft, like 18-hour day, this kind of lifestyle.
Really?
Yeah.
That's totally
That's
shocking. Okay.
crazy.
Yes.
And actually playing video game and watching movies and being always surrounded by these fantasy things and all, I kind of got attracted by the motion design, by art, this kind of thing. So little by little, I switched my activity on the computer from video game to Photoshop and
something
motion
creative.
design to something that, because I was too scared to go outside. So I thought that, okay, if I need to work at some point, I better stay on my computer, safe from the world, you know. So before I was playing video game, and then little by little I switched to make Photoshop and imagery and motion design and this kind of thing. So I was like sleeping at school, and during the night I was working and learning and checking tutorial, trying to create stuff, and so that's how I learned like this major.
So you said that the change has happened to you. What was the reason and how? Like, when was the turning point? Okay, I should try to be not so much introvert, but I should try to connect with the outside world, etc. Like psychologically, how it happened.
Oh, it's very clear. Actually, I almost died from a heart attack or something like that, because when I was working in the cinema industry, I was working a lot, like a 20-hour day, or like I was doing a lot of people work alone. And I wasn't really paying attention to my body, to myself, so I was just working and eating pizza, sushi, cola, coffee, and like that all the time. And after a few years of having that rhythm, my body just said, okay, now it's over. So I ended up in hospital. That was quite freaky.
And you almost died?
Yeah, I was laying on the floor for like 14 hours. What I remember is that after that experience, I was thinking like, okay, my life cannot be just working and eating sushi with coffee all the time. I need to do something else. And all that energy, all that work I was giving in the company I was working back then, it wasn't for me. That was for my boss. And the result, like the fruit of my work wasn't coming back to me.
Yes.
So that was a first episode that really started to switch from, okay, I'm like close-minded and I'm in a bubble and I need to do something. And few months after that, a guy assaulted me in the street with a gun to steal my stuff. So he put the gun on my head, stole everything, and then he went away. So was it a real gun or not, I don't know.
Yes,
but I'm so thankful for that guy because because thanks to that, I really realized that life is very precious and that life can be like, now I'm alive, now I'm dead.
It can end in an instant.
It can just switch like that, just like that. So after this guy made me that gift, I really like started to explore other things. I quit my job, and that's kind of the time when the Morel arrived in my life. So everything, Tenger is very smart. Everything was like shaped very nicely.
So that was the big moment, aha moment. Okay. You know, my life could have ended.
Yeah, just like that for fun.
So okay, well, you are here. We are in Mongolia. You are in Del, Mongolian traditional clothes. How Mongolia came to your life?
So that's the perfect transition.
Okay.
Just after those experience, those episodes, my best friend back then, who was a music composer, so I was doing the video, he was like doing the music, so we were always working together. And he came one day at the office with a CD, and he said, "Man, this CD gonna change your life."
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let's hear that. And that was Tuvan music from the band from Tuva, from the band Hun Horto. And Hun Horto, that's like a four-guy, Tuvan guy, like very famous. Maybe I don't pronounce it well, I don't know. So I listened to that CD, and inside me, it just like woke up. Something emerged, or I don't know, it's like a ray of light or something
so you
happened.
Had this ecstasy.
It was like a flow of energy, of inspiration, and something like I was connecting with something from before. So I spent 6 months listening to that CD non-stop, kind of. So when I was in work, I had my headset. And like when people came to talk to me, I was like taking off the headset. It was like this music, you know, Homie and Morel. So people were looking at me like strange. What is he listening to? And that's how I started to get involved with Mongolia, checking on YouTube other music, see some video. I saw that video of Batsorik from Husuktun, who was playing on the mountain and singing Romeo. I was like, oh my God, I want to be like that guy. That's so great. And that was actually the first time I saw Morel. So I saw like this neck, thin neck, the body, the horse head. And I was like, oh my God, that's so sexy. The shape, you know, the design of the instrument was like so amazing. And I totally was shocked from it. And that's how it
magical band.
That's how it started, like Tuvan music.
Have you had a chance to really meet with that Tuvan band?
Not yet, but
are you planning?
Yeah, I really would like to see them live someday. Definitely the Mongolian nature and the Mongolian animals are deeply connected with the music. Each time I'm in the nature, I always like also to play like kind of improvisation, just to feel the spirits and the energy around. Let this energy get into me and then get out through the voice or through the instrument. So we say in Mongolian, it's kind of lo savdak bayat lodlach. It means like giving joy and giving good vibe, giving kind of like a gift to the guardian spirit of a place. So that's kind of the direction I want to go in my research and in my like artistic life also. Connect more with the nature, the energy, and connect like all that with the music and ancestral music and tradition. So now just listening to the piece.
So how did you decide to come to Mongolia?
I decided
First
in,
time.
in 2014.
Okay.
So I was playing Mönur for a few months, and it was just burning inside me. I need to go there. Something is there for me, or I don't know. It was like the wish, the energy were pushing me to come actually, and I didn't really had choice. I really needed to come, and when I started to make the decision inside myself, things happened, and I just happened to be there. So I met like the friend of a girl that was teaching me Mongolian back then, like teaching me the alphabet, the Cyrillic, and she were supposed to go in Mongolia and maybe be guide for me. Then I met a guy on YouTube also playing Mönur that would come in Mongolia at the same time, so we could meet, and so it was just like.
Wow. Do you have teachers? You must have teachers.
Yeah, actually I learned in the Language and Civilization School of Choilu. So I've been learning now for 4 years there. So mostly tradition, Mongol Bichik, like the old script,
Yes.
and how to say, ethnology, ethnography, those kind of subject. And my main major is like literature.
Literature.
Oranzakal. So I'm very pleased because they really support me, and they kind of like answer all my questions. I'm very exhausting student because I always
ask questions.
many things. I'm very, very curious. So they always there to support me and to try to find answer when they don't know. So I'm very grateful, and of course I went to see many different kind of Mongolian scholar, musician, singer, to take personal course. So I learned 1 year with one Mönurhorch, then I learned with another person for a few months, and because I understood also very quickly that in Mongolian culture we cannot just ask from one person. We need to ask on one specific subject. We need to ask to many person, then gather all those information, and then when we put all together, we start to have something that is a little
complete message kind of thing, whole thing.
Something like that. So I like to ask to a lot of person to get kind of 360
overall bird's view on the subject.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you are working on a book since 2016.
Yeah.
And you are trying to do it. I heard that you're trying to do it on 4 different languages.
Oh, I'm not trying. I do it in 4 languages. I mean, in Cyrillic, of course.
But it hasn't been completed yet.
No, it's like around 60.
Tell us about the project. Yes.
60-70%. So
Oh,
my idea is actually because I during the summer sometime I did some guide work, and a lot of foreigner people really enjoy the Mongolian music, the culture, but they don't have any idea of what is it about, what is the meaning of the songs and everything. So I started to think that to develop and send that culture abroad, I could start to translate songs, long songs, poems, epics, maktal, this kind of piece. So in the first book there is like around 35 piece songs that I translate and that I explain. So it's in Mongol Bichik that I will write by hand, because Mongol Bichik need to be alive. I don't want it to be like a computer typing. Then in Cyrillic, because some Mongolian cannot read Mongol Bichik. Then of course in French and in English. So always with like explanation. So people, when they hear Mongolian or mostly foreigner, then when they hear a song, They can understand, it's about like this place or about this feeling or this thing. It's not just enjoying the music, but also understanding what is behind.
Understand the philosophy of it, understand the lyrics
Exactly.
of it. So you are giving this the packed pleasure with your book and the music.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
That's the goal of the book. So I hope to finish the first one this year, and once it's finished, I start the second and the third, and so.
Well, that's great work of promotion of Mongolian culture. Very great.
Interesting. Yeah, because behind, mostly I want to translate Maktal and Longsong, because behind there is always very deep meaning, like kind of life lesson, life advice. So I think that not just Mongolian, all the world need this kind of information, this kind of advice to be happy, to live happily, to be able to find the right person, or you know, this kind of things. So I want to share that with the world. Welcome in my workshop. This is where I do my calligraphies, my drawing, where also I practice my murderhood. So I can show you the few pieces that I'm working on. So for example, there is this piece now that I'm working on, which is Radholland. So there is like the fireplace from Mongolian gear with the writing in Mongol Bichik, and I will also write a poem on the side. So that's one of the pieces. I'm also working on a big piece now with 9 horse. 9 is a very, very good number in Mongolian symbolism. And horse, of course, is the most loved animal for Mongolian people. So 9 horse. So I started the drawing, now I'm starting the color. And also I want to show you that I also sculpt seals in stone. It's like used in calligraphies to sign or to make some decoration on the different pieces. So for example, this one is my name in Mongol Bichik in calligraphy. So this is my workshop. I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay, I have come to think that you are very much in love with Mongolian culture. You are even learning from Marunkhor. Now you studied calligraphy, Mongolian traditional calligraphy. You studied the long songs, and now you are even trying to do the epics, the Mongolian traditional epics.
Yeah, I tend to that.
What do you get from all these experiences personally?
Well, I get a very, very, very strong feeling of freedom. Okay. And also I really feel that when I play Murderhor, I feel that's just the thing I need to do. You know, I'm not playing like I'm someone else, or I'm just being natural myself. So it's like something that is very unique feeling. I'm just made for that. That's what I feel like, freedom. And each time I start something new, like the Urtindo, the long song, or the dance, the traditional dance, or the calligraphy, I just feel that it's something, a new stone that helped me become more myself, and help me give a full experience of the Murderhor, you know, like really feel what is behind it, like the philosophy, the energy. And now, as you said, I really want to go to sing epic, because I think that's the final step. So maybe in 10 years or something, I will start to sing that in the real way. So as we say, having the spirit get in and sing instead of the person.
So okay, I have to stop you there.
Okay,
You just said,
it's good I got too far.
You just said no, not too far. I want to ask. You just said it's like a normal thing. spirit getting in and you think, for some people, we are talking nonsense.
Okay.
You know that, right?
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
talking
sorry.
nonsense. Some audiences.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Why? You believe in spirits coming in
No,
your
I
body
don't-
and start singing?
I don't believe I know, so
Okay.
I will tell it differently.
Okay.
Let's say that having the intuition at the 100% level. So it means that when this happened, this state happened, I don't need to think. It's just going, it's just flowing like naturally. And it works for any kind of person in any kind of field. Like some person who's making bread, at some point, it's just magical. You just use the flour, the water, then everything, and the bread gonna be so delicious. And the guy or the woman doesn't even know how they did it. It's just just
Yes,
like that, you know,
yes,
like pure intuition, pure feeling. So that's
no
kind
brain,
of like
no intellect
yeah.
is needed anymore.
That's like I take my brain, I put it on the table, just heart, and then it's like giving like that.
So you are jumping from Marunkhor, Epic, jumping around. How does it work? Do you plan it? Or, okay, when I get this better at Marunkhor, I will start learning the long song. Or I mean, you even tried acting just recently. Yeah. Tell us about the movie experience.
Well,
tried acting.
The movie experience was super interesting. As that's my major. Usually I'm from the other side of the camera. So now I was like in front of the camera. So that was super interesting. I really enjoyed it a lot. Of course, the difficult part was the language, because I'm not Mongolian, and when we shoot the movie, my Mongolian language was not that good. So that was very difficult, but I really learned a lot of things. I had like a horse riding lesson with like super great stuntmen. I really learned a lot of stuff on this movie related to the Mongolian culture, and we went in amazing place like in Mongolian countryside. So I'm really grateful, and that was like I hope I can play again in other
movies. Oh, you're gonna be a big celebrity.
That would be really great, and ride more horse.
Ride more horse. Do you love it?
Oh yeah, that's so good. And actually, that's very interesting because riding horse and playing Mongolia is like so connected in so many ways, like holding the jalo and all.
I think now you are getting the reasons or the spirit behind the Marunkhor melodies, no?
Yeah,
when you
definitely.
really start riding the horses, and the galloping, or different kind of steps.
The energy.
The energy.
That's like really amazing. Yeah, and everything is interconnected, so that was really great.
Well, let's take a look at how you do this bibilge.
Okay.
Okay, he is also dancing the traditional Mongolian, one of the traditional Mongolian dances, which is called bilge. Okay, let's talk about this dance a little bit.
Mhm.
What's the meaning behind all these moves?
I'm still learning,
Okay.
so I cannot go too deeply about it
Mhm.
yet. But basically, it's like one side of it is about keeping the body healthy, so strong
Mhm.
and with like flexibility and
Mhm.
this kind of thing. Another point is also to show to people the nomadic life.
Mhm.
So like making the flour or giving the bread or like gathering the wheat or all kind of nomadic movement, action, work. So it's kind of showing
Mhm.
all that, and of course there is because each folk tribe have their own style.
Yes.
It's also showing like the tribe personality.
Let me ask you about your future.
Mhm.
How do you see your future?
For the future, I have no idea. I don't really plan the future.
Okay.
I just take the things as they come.
Mhm.
So of course, I have some purpose, some things I want to achieve.
Mhm.
Basically, spread the culture, spread the Mongolian culture, the ancestral culture,
Mhm.
like this bilge, this töl, the manure with heart, like with all this energy package that is around, not just playing like a robot. That's one thing, and the other point I want to achieve is to spread that culture and use that culture to bring people in a higher energy level, kind of, because with this culture I think that it can touch the soul of anyone, and it can really help people to
Get close to
become,
enlightenment.
yeah, something, yeah, exactly.
My last question, traditional question: do you love Mongolia?
What a funny question.
Do you love Mongolia?
Yeah, of course I love Mongolia. I love the culture.
Okay, tell me specific 3 things that you love about
Okay.
Mongolia.
I love the sheep tail a lot.
You eat sheep tail?
Yeah, of course.
You do?
Yeah, that's so good.
Wow! I haven't seen
Yeah.
one foreign person. Well, I mean, to say foreign person, but I haven't seen one Westerner to eat sheep tail.
I love it
Okay,
so
sheep
much.
tail. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
interesting.
As I'm a French, of course, food comes first.
Okay.
And of course, like the Morel is
Okay,
is
Morel.
totally the love of my life. So, and the third, I would say the land energy, the land philosophy, like the culture from the countryside, like
Nomadic
is-
philosophy? Are you
yeah,
saying?
no
Or
I mean the land itself is
Land
alive,
itself.
you know. It's like when I go in the countryside, I can really feel the land talking to me or being very alive, and there is an exchange between the nature and the people, and also seeing that with like the Mongolian nomads, for them it's just like normal.
It's
you know.
always there.
So, like just before I said the spirit comes in, for them this communication is very natural, and seeing that is like totally priceless. So
So you love the
feeling like
you love the land
mhm,
connection.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much, and
Thank you for having me.
I wish you good health and good luck for your future endeavors.
Thanks a lot.
Well, this is all for today. We have been talking with Mr. Steve Morel, the Mongolist, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed our talk show. See you with the next episode.